On this Inauguration Day, we wanted to let you know WUSA 9's commitment to reporting on the climate and the environment is as strong as ever because of the impact that these issues have on all of us, really.
Yeah, the incoming second Trump administration has some strong views on environmental policy. There may be some executive orders that may change some of the policies as well. And the new president has said the nation has been moving in the wrong direction on climate and energy, especially when he says the policies hurt the economy.
Yeah, here's our environmental impact reporter Scott Broom now with an examination of what key administration nominees are saying, what they're saying, and how climate experts are reacting.
On climate, President Donald Trump is famous for saying this.
The global warming and that, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
But settled science clearly shows global temperatures have risen nearly 2 degrees as the atmospheric level of carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels continues to accelerate after already jumping 50% since global industrialization. Here is Lee Zeldin, the Trump nominee to run the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in confirmation hearings.
I believe that climate change is real.
Nominees like Zeldin do not call climate change a hoax, but they focus on the economy when talking about climate. All are supporters of developing more oil and gas.
I think that he's concerned about the economic costs of some policies where there's a debate and a difference of opinion between parties.
I would respectfully disagree with you. I think he has called it a hoax time and time and time again.
The nominee for the U.S. Department of Energy is Chris Wright, a gas fracking executive. He would be in charge of the transition to new energy sources like wind and solar. Here's a video he posted.
There is no climate crisis, and we're not in the midst of an energy transition either. Humans and all complex life on Earth is simply impossible without carbon dioxide.
Former North Dakota governor and tech mogul Doug Burgum is nominated to run the Department of the Interior, which oversees drilling and mining on federal land.
When energy production is restricted in America, it doesn't reduce demand. It just shifts productions to countries like Russia and Iran, whose autocratic leaders not only don't care at all about the environment, but they use their revenues from energy sales to fund wars against us and our allies.
Here's Burgum previously on CNN.
If we're going to have a discussion about what to do about the changes in climate, then we ought to have it and make a sense like what should we do that actually helps our country and helps actually advance the solution. And that's always going to be innovation, not this regulation. You can't add 500,000 EV charging stations and not be able to permit a transmission line.
There's a lot of talk about the importance of American energy, affordable energy. I think all of that is right.
Dr. Nat Cohan is an economist and the president of the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions, a climate think tank largely opposed to more fossil fuel development.
But if we're going to get abundant energy and affordable energy, we need to be going towards the technologies of the future, the renewables, the zero carbon sources, and not look to unabated fossil fuels, which are the kind of technologies of the previous century. So when people talk about the economics of this, the economic case is very clear cut. The most expensive thing that we can do is not acting and is not making the investments in the transition we need to a much cleaner energy economy.
Cohan pointed to the climate-fueled Los Angeles wildfires and 2024's catastrophic flooding in North Carolina as costs of climate change. Dr. Joe Romm is a physicist, climate expert, and author. He echoed the thoughts.
And the things that we see in Los Angeles and around the country in the last year. I mean, the last year was the hottest year on record. And the last 10 years have been the hottest 10 years on record. So the planet is warming, and I think most Americans know that. Climate action clearly doesn't hurt the economy. Co-President Elon Musk has gotten rich on solar, electric battery storage, and electric vehicles. So it's clearly not a bad business. What's bad for the economy is the fires in Los Angeles, which appear now to be, it's going to be the biggest climate disaster since Hurricane Katrina.
Other Trump administration nominees attack climate policy on ideological grounds. Here's Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth speaking as a host on Fox News.
Whether it's hot or cold, the enemy is here as far as liberals are concerned, and it's all about control for them. That's why climate change is the perfect enemy. They get to control your life to deal with it no matter what's happening.
You used to be an administration official for a different administration. Was it your goal to limit people's freedom and control people's choices?
Well, look, I think, I mean, obviously that's not the goal. That wasn't the goal of what we were doing in the Obama administration.
Dr. Joe Rahm is a former Energy Department official.
It is ridiculous to say that the Department of Energy is trying to control anyone's life. Our mission is to protect public health and also reduce dependence on foreign energy.
Others worry about the future of federal agencies here in the D.C. region. Here's Maryland Representative Glenn Ivey.
In your district, you have concerns about NASA and NOAA. These are agencies that create science regarding climate. What are your concerns about these agencies right here in our own backyard?
There's been some talk about breaking some of them up or, shifting their functions, outside of the jurisdiction or sending them to the private sector. There's a variety of things there, many of which I don't think have been very well thought through. But at the end of the day, I mean, they serve very important functions. For example, NASA and NOAA have been working together to help firefighters on the ground in the battles in Los Angeles. And that's making a big difference.
During his final days in office, President Joe Biden used his powers to ban offshore drilling along much of the U.S. coastline and parts of Alaska. And he funneled more than $1 billion into FEMA grant programs to help communities with climate resilience. President Trump and his new cabinet will have to decide if they want to reverse course. Scott Broom, WUSA 9.